as we take a look at the start list. Big field here, a lot of internationals. Scotty Peterson will be the Australian to look at. As we have a look at the start list now, Glen Ritchie, Richard Polkinghorne, Travis Longmuir. Hamish Christensen won the mile in Melbourne a couple of seasons ago. Scott Peterson, he wears the boxer shorts, can't miss him. Julian Marsh from Victoria, Nick Landbeck from Queensland. Then the Kenyan duo, Eliajah Maru, he won in Perth. Martin Keino, the son of the legendary two-time Olympic gold medalist Keino. Holman, Hood, as we go over the page, Graham Hood, the youngest finalist in the 1500 metre final in Barcelona back in '92. Steve Catterick, Holt Hardy, Mark Gorski and David Ruscheena. 18 runners, and Mona, they'll have to be careful to make sure they don't get in too much trouble with this big field.
It is a big field, 1500. They'll settle in pretty early though. The internationals will make sure they normally like to be pretty solid in their early pace, so they'll sit in, and the local guys will run off that a bit. But what a great opportunity here to see a legend's son in action. Martin Keino, the son of the greatest Kenyan athlete of all time, Keino, and I'm looking forward to watching Martin run tonight. Eliajah Maru, who's spent a couple of years out here, a couple of summers out here. He doesn't get beaten very often, I must admit. He had a great season last year over 1500. He was down in the low 330s, and he'll be the one to beat tonight.
Well, there's Keino on the left of screen and Maru on the right as they go to the line in the men's 1500.
So Martin Keino, the taller of the two Kenyans you just saw on screen, and in fact I think that's Keino dropping back towards the tail of the field in the early stages, and back there with him is Maru. Polkinghorne will go to the lead in the early stages. He's going to set the pace in the 1500 metres as they leave the back straight astern. Running to second now is Holt Hardy, and he's in a clear second, and there's a little bit of pace on. The jostling back in the field, I'm just looking for Martin Keino now. I think you'll find that's him out 4 and 5 deep and circling the field. The other Kenyan, Eliajah Maru, is back in the centre, and now Martin Keino is going very quickly after being back towards the tail into 5th position as they come down the straight with 3 laps to go.
It's not hard to see Scotty Peterson. He's the Christmas tree there in 3rd position. He'll be right tonight. He doesn't have to get changed when he goes home. It's a strong field here of locals as well. Look out for Steve Holman and Graham Hood, the other two internationals. The pace there, they seem to have slowed up a bit. You can see they went out hard early, but the field's packed up a little bit. It's tough conditions out there tonight. It'll become a bit tactical, I would think.
So that's Richard Polkinghorne in front by a couple of metres. In second placing, I think it's still Holt Hardy, and then the Australian Scott Peterson is holding down 3rd. Now, Martin Keino is running in 5th position now, and there's a break of about 6 or 7 metres back behind him to the other Kenyan, Eliajah Maru. Now let's have a look for the American Steve Holman. He's running in those green colours, and he's back beyond centre field, I think you'll find. Yes, just back behind the two Kenyans now, and starting to improve the black American up around the outside. They come down the straight now, where they'll have the 2-lap mark coming up. It's Polkinghorne still in front. He leads the way from second, Holt Hardy. In 3rd position now over on the outside, in fact, is Hood. And moving around the outside, Scott Peterson now. The challengers coming from back in the field. Hamish Christensen, the New Zealander's there as well. And now Martin Keino just got shuffled back a little bit there, and a runner behind him, I think, went onto his heels as Maru goes up around the outside, and just in behind them was Holman.
Well, the internationals are pretty well placed here as Polkinghorne still leads the way from Hardy and Peterson, but Graham Hood, he's keen to had a disappointing time in Atlanta. The two Kenyans are very well placed there. Maru running a more sensible race here than he did in Perth. He led by nearly 20 or 30 metres as they came into the straight. Peterson just about ran him down. There's Holman on his outside in the green and white. Gee, it was a tragedy in the US Olympic trials for Holman. He went in as the reddest of red-hot favourites and failed to make the team. Polkinghorne finishes his duties as the pacemaker, Mono.
And Holman is very fast, so we're certain that this is off a slowish pace. They're probably just over what was the 4-minute mile at low 340, so I think you'll be looking out for Holman and Maru. Certainly Keino's son Martin off the 800 background that he has, so we're in for a great battle here.
And they're about to get the bell, and it's Hardy in front from Peterson, and the first of the two Kenyans is Keino. He's running in 4th position now with on his shoulder the outside Eliajah Maru and Holman just in behind them. Well, this is developing into a great race as they go down the back towards the 300 metres. Holt Hardy in front by a couple of metres on Hamish Christensen running second, and then back behind them in turn came the Kenyan getting up on the inside now, and that was Keino in front of Maru, who's trekking him along. In fact, Maru's got in front of Keino now, and this is going to develop into a real sprint home. Holman got chopped out there and tried to go around to the outside.
Well, Peterson set sail for home from a long way out, but look at his kick finish. He really is in great form, Scotty Peterson. You'd want to be when you're wearing boxer shorts like that. Can he hang on? Hood and Maru in second and third.
Yes, and the other Kenyan is dropping out of it, but into the straight they go, and Scott Peterson is in front. On the outside, Hood is coming to him now. Hood goes to Peterson. Hood's got the kick, and Hood's going to win by 1.5 meters on the line from Peterson. Holman's got third in front of Maru, Keino, and then behind them in turn, Hamish Christensen. But all honours with the winner, Graham Hood.
But the run there, Scotty Peterson, he might have just ducked under 340 there. That's a phenomenal run. He's just outside the qualifying for the World Championships. So he's really come on in leaps and bounds this year. He's been competitive with Maru, and he's shown it tonight. He certainly went for it early, and that's a very fast time. I'll be looking with interest at the time there for Scotty Peterson.
And all credit to him too. The 23-year-old from Victoria has funded his own way around most of the Grand Prix circuit for the last couple of years. And this is the payback time now for Scott Peterson. But Graham Hood has been with the Kenyans, and also Steve Holman with Kim McDonald's training squad. Sonia O'Sullivan, who we'll see later, as a member of that squad training in Melbourne. And plenty of background there coming through. A class athlete, and he just gets there in the line. It was a great race.
Just looking at Martin Keino, he seemed, I know he's relatively inexperienced, he seemed to just get shuffled back, and his countrymen went up on his outside, Maru, and all of a sudden he started to panic a little bit, and that's where the experience of Hood, who was a finalist in '92, came to the fore. He didn't panic, he just waited and then kicked.
So important to realise that we saw the front runner just dropping back, and they got caught behind them there and couldn't get out, and once you lose that momentum, that's it.
Here he is with the man of the pledge.
Graham Hood, congratulations, a terrific race. Tell me, what were your tactics in that race?
You know, we're just starting to get racing, so we kind of, I personally went into it without much of a plan, and that almost backfired. I think the guy that ended up getting second made a great strong move, and he almost got too far away from us to catch him.
So you learn from things like that, don't you? Next time you'll go out with a bit of a different
approach.
approach.
I think next time hopefully we'll run a bit faster, go after a good fast time. That'd be nice.
Well, congratulations, you still managed to wrap it up. Well done.
Thanks very much.
From the track to the field, and Nova Perez